Chapter 7. The Chapel. In this name, New Bedford, there stands a whaleman's chapel, and few are the moody fishermen, shortly bound for the Indian Ocean or Pacific, who fail to make a Sunday visit to the spot. I'm sure that I did not. Returning from my first morning stroll, I again sallied out upon this special errand. The sky changed from clear, sunny cold to driving sleet and mist. Wrapping myself in my shaggy jacket of clothes called bearskin, I fought my way against the stubborn storm. Entering, I found a small scattered conjunction of sailors, wives, and widows. A muffled silence region, only broken at times by the shrieks of the storm. Each silent worshipper seemed to be purposely sitting apart from each other, as if each silent grief were insulter and incommunicable. The chaplain had not yet arrived, and these silent islands of men and women sat steadfastly eyeing several marble tablets with black borders fastened into the wall. On either side of the pulpit, 3 of them ran something like the following, but I do not pretend to quote: "Sacred to the memory of John Talbot, who, at the age of 18, was lost overboard near the Isle of Dislocation off Patagona, November 1st, 1836. Tablet is erected to his memory by his sister. Sacred to the memory of Robert Long, Willis Elaine, Nathan Coleman, Walter Canny, Seth Macy, and Samuel Legg, forming one of the boat's crews of the ship Eliza, who were towed out of sight by a whale on the offshore ground in the Pacific, December 31st, 1839. This marble here placed by their surviving shipmates. Sacred to the memory of the late Captain S. Irigal Hardy, who in the bows of his boat was killed by a sperm whale on the coast of Japan, August 3rd, 1833. This tablet was erected by his widow." Don't worry, I plugged it up. Shaking off the sleet from my ice-glazed hat and jacket, I seated myself near the door and turned sideways, was surprised to see Queequeg near me. Affected by the solemnity of the scene, there was a wondering gaze of incredulous curiosity in his countenance. This savage was the only person present who seemed to notice my entrance, because he was the only one who could not read, and therefore was not reading the frigid inscriptions of the wall. Whether any of the relatives of the seaman whose name appeared there were now among the congregation, I knew not, but so many unrecorded accidents in the fishery, and so plainly did several one present to the countenance, if not trappings of some unceasing grief, that I felt sure that here before me were assembled those in whose unhealing hearts, in the sight of those bleak tablets, caused old wounds to bleed afresh. Oh, ye whose dead lie buried beneath the green grass, who standing among the flowers can say, "Here lies my beloved," ye know not desolation in what brooms and bosoms like these. What bitter blanks in those black bordered marbles could cover no ashes. What deadly voids and unforbidden dinglies in the lines of what seemed to gnaw upon all faith and refuse resurrections of the beings who have placingly perished without a grave. It needs scarcely be told with feelings On the eve of a Nantucket voyage, I regarded those marble tablets by the murky light of that dark and joyful day, read the fate of the whalemen who had gone before me. Yes, Ishmael, the same fate may be thine. But somehow I grew merry again. Delightful inducements to invite. A fine chance for promulgation. It seems a stove-boat would make me an immortal by the prevent. Yet there is a death in the business of whaling. Speechlessly quick, chaotic bundling of a man into eternity. But what then? Methinks we have hugely mistaken this matter of life and death. Methinks what they call my shadow here on earth is my true substance. Methinks that looking on things that's spiritual, we are too much like oysters observing the sun through water, thinking that thick water the thinnest of air. Methinks my body but the less of my better being. In fact, my body will, I take it, say, it is not me. And therefore, three cheers for Nantucket! And come a stove-boat and stove-body when they will, for stave my soul Jove himself cannot.